Hi, my name's Jim. My wife and I live in near Sequim in the Old Town Dungeness area, and I hope you're enjoying the 2021 Irrigation Festival virtual car show. And I'd like to introduce you to my 1969 Triumph TR6. This car I bought in 2005 as a basket case. It had been taken apart by the original owner in 1991 with the intention of restoring it, but he never finished his project and sold it on to a friend of mine in 2014. And my friend also intended to do the restoration on it, but he did manage to get the paint job done, and then he lost interest in it and sold it on to me in later that year. So I had the duty of taking it apart, doing the mechanicals correctly, and putting it back together with new interior and new top. And this is what you see in front of you. Some of the features of this car are that it's mostly original equipment, very little modification to it. The wheels are replicas of American Silverstones, which were an option on TRs all through the 60s, and this was the last year that they were offered as an option. So I had to have some. I had some on my TR4 back in the 70s, so they were absolutely had to have some new ones. Other than that, the car is pretty much stock, and I'm going to give you a little bit of tour inside the engine bay and in the interior, so just stand by for that. Now that looks better, doesn't it? Ready for summer. So I'm going to take you on a little tour here. I'll clip you from the tripod. Let's go. Of course, the TR6 has a 6-cylinder engine, 2.5 liters, and twin carburetors. These are Strombergs, which replaced the SUs from the previous TRs. Now the TR6 is the direct descendant of the one-year-only TR250, which was the North American version of the TR5, if you're wondering about that numeric order. And the TR250 had carried over the independent rear suspension from the previous TR4, late model TR4. And the bodywork was updated, both nose and tail, by Carmen Ghia, over the original Micheletti center portion. And the Carmen Ghia tail was especially pretty and truly updated the car for those mod hipsters returning from Vietnam. The interior, as you can see, is what Triumph called tan, or we always call it buckskin, but it's original color, as is the paint job, original conifer color, not British Racing Green as it's usually called. Triumph called it conifer just because they needed a new and modern name. The dash was refinished. It's rosewood. It's not the original laminate, so it's a little bit more colorful than the original walnut, and it sure is pretty. It was done by a local firm down in Goleta in California, near Santa Barbara, and that's where the car is from. We moved up here last year, and we were living in Southern California in a desert town called Palmdale, and that's where the car spent all of its life. The original owner was an Air Force lieutenant working at Edwards Air Force Base, and in its life the car took one trip to Colorado to the Air Force Academy there. And the original owner sold it to a gentleman who owned it for many, many years. He was the longtime owner. And he was the one that took it apart in 1991. So, long story short, I finished the restoration that he started, and this is the result. And one of my happiest days was when I was able to take the car and show it to the son and grandson of that owner, and they were sure happy to see it back on the road again. Probably the best story I've got for the car so far is that I drove it up here from Palmdale last summer all the way on Highway 101, and it was a magnificent trip through the coastland, and I will never forget that trip. So that's my TR6. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the show. Thank you very much.
This is a 1999 Mercedes-Benz SL500 convertible hardtop coupe. Again, it's a convertible. See, it has a hardtop, but that hardtop comes off, and then you can be riding with the wind in your hair. It also has a canvas top or a conventional soft top that can be deployed if you don't have the hardtop, and you would need to in the event of weather conditions changing. It's an AMG Sport, which means it has the ground effects package. It's got the AMG Sport wheels. It's a very sleek car. It's powerful. It's got a V8 engine. It's fast. When you go to step on it, it goes, and it'll set you back in your seat a bit. All leather interior, 5-disc CD changer. Like I said, 1999 Mercedes, so it doesn't have conventional electronics in it. Again, all leather interior, big V8 engine. It's a clean car. Bought the car with 23,000 miles on it, and I've put 4,000 miles on it in the past 3 years. So it's got 27,000 miles on it. The car is for sale. Only reason being is I've got another Mercedes, and I've got a number of other cars, so I just got to thin the motor pool. Don't want to get rid of it. The only reason is I can only drive one car at a time. So love this car. Again, it's comfortable. The floor mats even have the plastic on them from the dealership. So if you're looking for a nice ride, personal luxury sport car. Car had a sticker of $82,000 back in 1999. So it gives you an idea of the quality of the car. And again, it's Mercedes-Benz engineering, Mercedes-Benz quality.
I have bumper extensions on the bumpers, front and back, one fog light, original plates from original year of manufacture. It's a flathead V8, originally 90 horsepower, there's a dual exhaust on it, so that cranks it up a little bit for you. It's not a speedster, but it runs very good. And it's got dual side mirrors for balance. Can't see how that will drive it, but it has to balance. And it's been reupholstered. It's just a beautiful car. Got an accessory white wheel on it. You got to have a suicide valve. And the dash, it's radio delete, but the clock works. And it's not very high mileage. Everything works. All the gauges, the heater works. It's a joy to drive. It's solid. It's got these little rubber fender guards on there. They have chrome ones back when I was a kid, but these are actually nicer as I grow older. And I continue to grow old. This is a gas door guard. And I've got a locking gas cap down there in case somebody wants to siphon gas. They can't. And I've been to many a show with this car. That's my lady friend Cheryl. She's a big car girl. She loves to play with the cars, help me. And this is a thing you must have in these old cars. I found a third brake light and adapted it. It's similar to the original taillights, bigger, but at least you can see these lights. Again, Spring Valley Car Club and Veterans Motor Car Club of America. And this is a club that I formed in 1959 back in Brewster, New York, on the East Coast. And we had a bunch of good cars, hot rods, things that just about passed inspection, but we were having fun. And it's just a pretty car.
Hi everybody, this is Jackson and Madeline, and they are the proud owners of this 1957 Chevy Bel Air four-door sedan, affectionately known as Lucille, or Lucy for short. Lucy's been around for a while, and we are just now going to start working on her. We're going to get her cleaned up. We're going to put some time and energy and money into her, and we're going to get her on the road. Everything is all here, and we just got to spend that time, clean it up, and get her going again. We're going to paint the car purple is the plan, and then we've got a fresh 383 stroker motor that we're ready to drop into it to replace it. They wanted it to be a sleeper. So under the guise of a four-door, she's going to have a lot of horsepower and a lot of energy under the hood. But it needs a new interior, new paint, straighten out some chrome and a little bit of sheet metal, and she'll be good as new. We got the time and the love to put into her, and we're going to do just that. Going to be a great ride to go get ice cream, I'm thinking. We're going to start deconstruction in the month of May, and hopefully we'll have her in next year's Sequim Irrigation Festival car show and car parade. So this is our project. This is our car. This is Lucille. We're excited to get going on it and get her on the road. And we look forward to seeing you out there on the road sometime real soon.
This is 1953 Mercury. It originally came from Illinois, wound up in Port Townsend where I purchased it. And it wasn't as nice as this when I got it. Put a lot of time and sweat in it. And this is a picture of a 54, but it's the same color and everything. That's down in California. And it's got the last flathead V8. 53. 54, they still made them in Canada. But this is the last year in the States. It's got a radio, heater, power light. That's Chevrolet. It's got an automatic. New vinyl in the doors, seat covers, original type. It's a pretty good moving car, but it's a bear to steer. No power steering on this. And I've had it for about 6 years. Put a lot of time and energy in it. My lady friend did some pinstriping for me and did some other things. Then we got the date of manufacturer plate, 1953 plate. That's a Q, that's for Clallam County also. And dual exhaust, of course. And It's just a pretty car. First time out at a show, I got best of class, which I was pickle pick. And there's no body brushed on this. It's just a sleek looking car. And back in the day, Ed Sullivan show, he was selling these cars, if you know who Ed Sullivan is. And this is the Sequim Valley Car Club that I belong to. I belong to 5 different car clubs. And that's one of them. So this is a nice car. It's been another feature I made put pinstriping in the chrome grooves there and the stainless. It just dresses it up. And the rear speaker actually works. That's an amazing fact in itself. And it's a Mercury Monterey. That's a style. 2-door hardtop. Got tinted windows. That's another feature. That's about all on this one.
This is a 2007 Pontiac Solstice Gxp. A ride fit for a princess, a ride any queen would be happy with. But it's the ride for an empress. The Pontiac Solstice Gxp, turbocharged 0 to 60 in 5.4 seconds, pushing out nearly 300 horsepower. She's fast. She's hot. She's sexy. All the right curves in all the right places. And I'm not just talking about the car, people. Pontiac Solstice Gxp, a road handling machine. Hugs the curves, accelerates tight. It's a great car to take up to Hurricane Ridge or down the Hood Canal. There's no room for luggage, so don't pack a lunch. Got a leather interior, great sound system. Everything you want in a fast, quick, nimble ride. Even comes equipped with a booster seat. I told you it's a ride fit for an empress. The Pontiac Solstice Gxp. Get yours today. Good luck. They don't make them anymore.
Changed my Ford hat to a Chevy hat. This is an 87 El Camino. Last year in the States for an El Camino. I've heard there's some in 88, but I've never been able to prove it. So this is the last one they sold from Chevrolet. It's got big and littles for tires, raised leather. A little bit, not too much. It's got new upholstery in there. This just done 2 years ago, all nice stock. Power steering, power brakes, V8. Goes nice. And it's two-tone, so you can see it's black and silver. gets the job done. I get more compliments. In fact, today a guy wanted to buy it from me. And I told him, wait a while. I'm not in the market yet. It's got some little tie downs in the bed. It's been, I got a mat, a bed mat on it, and it's been sprayed so you don't have the metal show. Gives it a nice touch.
This is a 1981 Porsche 928. It's truly a unique car. It's a V8 vehicle, front engine V8, and it's rear wheel drive. You can see it's got the telephone dial wheels to it, deep, dark tinted aftermarket windows. Unique car, puts out about 260 horsepower. The car was designed and engineered to go 120 miles an hour all day long on the Autobahn. So it's not an extremely fast car off the line, but when you're doing 60 and want to do 100, you can get there real quick. The car I bought as a project car, and it needed paint and an interior, and it still needs paint and an interior. I haven't been able to get to it, and that's why you can see there's a for sale sign on it. I've got a couple other project cars that I'm working on, and I just don't have the bandwidth to work on this car. Because the car has sat for a while, somebody would need to go through the engine, but it was a strong running engine when the last time I had it on the road, but it has sat for some time. I've got a price on it that is in accordance with a vehicle that needs this type of attention. But like I say, it needed paint when I bought it. It needed an interior when I bought it, and I had every intention to do that. I just, well, we all know how time is when you're trying to fix a car up. So again, a unique car. Here's the number if you have interest in it. It's a pretty strong price. If you have interest, give me a call. You could part the car out and make money on it based on what I'm going to sell it for, and I'm selling it way less than what I paid for it. If you've got questions on this car, if you've ever driven this car before, or a 928, they are an amazing machine. Just a fantastic piece of engineering. It's got just a real unique look to it, and I want to get it to somebody that would be a good home for it. So thanks for listening, and have a great day.
We bought our Nomad in 1997 from a guy in El Paso, Illinois, and drove it all the way back to Washington State. It looked like this: turquoise and white. We started a frame-on restoration in 2011 that was done by Lundy Adkins at Quality Restorations and Street Rods. The interior was done to look stock, but the colors are not stock. The gadget on the dash is a traffic light viewer, and we get a lot of questions from people about that. The body color is a Corvette magnetic red metallic, and the top is a Cadillac Radiant silver metallic. Upgrades have been a GM 350 built by Whitman Engines in Kirkland, a 700 R4 automatic transmission from Bowtie Overdrives. The rear springs were replaced with a 4-link coil over system from RideTech, and the Dakota Digital VHX gauges. The interior was stitched by Ciadella Interiors of Tempe, Arizona. The wheels are American Torque Thrust 2. We like to take the car to car shows in the area: Port Angeles, Sequim, Port Townsend, Shelton, and like that. And we'd really like to be able to do that sometime soon again.
Good morning. I'd like to show you my 1956 Ford Thunderbird. It is in Mopar blue, a Viper color. It was originally a black car. I've done the re-chroming and a new roof on it, and updated it with the new wheels and tires. My name is Jack Grinnell. I live here in Happy Valley, and this car has been in our family for some time. And I just wanted to give it a facelift, and that's what I've done with it, with the new colors and some of the trim. This is an engine that was installed originally. It's a V8 312 cubic inch. This particular model had power steering, not power brakes, but it did have power windows and power seats. As I walk around it, you'll notice that just is about as original as they get, except for, again, the paint. This car is actually for sale, and again, I'm located here in Sequim, and I can answer any questions that people may have. Runs fine, drives fine. I think I can start it here.